Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Apex E-Series Showdown here on Rebel Racing Network. I'm Eddie Smith, and tonight we are at Bristol on dirt. You couldn't get enough of it. We got more. You always can use a little bit more dirt. Tonight going to be a lot of fun. Trucks. Always put on a great show here. Looking to see these drivers follow the same trends as we're currently under qualifying as we get ready to run a couple heats tonight and a feature, which is going to be a lot of fun. So talking a little bit about Bristol dirt, they took one of the better tracks and then threw a bunch of dirt on it for fun. And tonight we're going to see how much fun it actually is. And while I love the history of Bristol, I do understand just changing it up from time to time. I mean, it's a heck of a coliseum. If you can make a show that people want to come watch, you know, hey, sometimes it's cool to have some different things. So Bristol dirt is definitely different. First couple years in NASCAR, not impressive, but I tell you what, this year, I think, you know, maybe prolong the life of this event. So, but tonight we're going to see how it goes here in the trucks in Apex, as we've had a fantastic season so far. I don't have a points bracket just yet for you, but we'll kind of talk about that as we're getting ready to jump into the heats in just a minute. But we'll talk about the points, see where everything's at. You know, tonight will be interesting to see, because you got some guys who are really good at you know, what we normally run. Then dirt's a whole different animal. So get to see who's good at dirt, who's not good at dirt, and maybe somebody who can make up some points here tonight. Currently, Daniel Holcroft is your points leader, with Chris Bedwell right behind him. Charles Stevens Jr. in second or third, and Chris McLean fourth. Kip Beasley is currently fifth in points. Josh Lokovitz also tied for fifth. Garrett Kinder in seventh. Chuck Phelps in eighth. Aaron Adcock ninth, and Dana Shepard is your top 10 in points. So be looking out on those guys. We got a little bit left in the session, but also in the season before playoffs start, and so not going to be much time before these point standings are going to really matter. So going to be fun to see how that all plays out. Qualifying just now getting over, and looks like your results are going to be it's like Garrett Kinder and I believe Chris McLean were the two front rows. So we'll see how that plays out in just a second. As we'll go ahead and pull up the grid for the first of two heats. Now, I'm a little bit confused about how this is going to go down. I was told the top two would not have to run and they would immediately go to the front. We'll see how that is. Right now, Garrett Kinder with that pole position will be starting on the front row if he is indeed racing. Aaron Adcock in second. Row number two is Willie Evernham and Josh Lokovitz. Row three, Chris Bedwell and Chuck Pegleg Phelps. Row four, Alan Nash and Daniel Holcroft. Lance Spomberg and Alan Smith bring up the rear. So 10 drivers in this heat as we get ready for some dirt racing. Looks like Garrett Kinder is going to be in the room. We'll get him up next time. Let's see if there's anybody we can pull up in here. I'd like to have somebody I'll tell you what, let's bring Chris McLean up in here and see if he's willing to talk to us about this race. Chris is Eddie in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you, boy.
Well, man, we're going to watch the race, and if you don't mind, we'll have you here just to answer some questions, because it seemed like you're pretty quick, and so love to see what your take is on tonight as we get ready to go green. How's the truck feeling tonight? How is this combo feeling? Are you feeling like it's going to be maybe a chance for you to get a win tonight?
Yeah, definitely. It's pretty loose. Trying to find grip. Truck's all out of shape, especially in, you know, as it goes on. I don't know. I think track's gonna wear out and bottom may come in. So just got to stay consistent and try to put laps.
Well, laps are starting already as we are green in the first heat. As man, the 17 of Aaron Adcock working the top side looking strong. He's getting in the wall right on the first lap. But hey, at the dirt track, doesn't seem to matter. We can beat and bang all you want. But so far, Aaron Adcock takes over the top spot. And we're still green as everybody seems to have been able to get through without much issue. But here comes Garrett Kinder right on the back bumper of the 17. How hard is it to pass here, Chris? How hard is it to make these passes in these trucks?
It's definitely tough. Aaron definitely had an advantage there. There's a lot more grip on that top side on the initial starts and restarts. But the track stayed like it is now, it's pretty much impossible to pass. I mean, unless Aaron just gets in the wall a little bit and Kinder generates a really good run, is able to put a slide job on him. It really takes 2 corners to make a pass and execute it.
Well, you talk about slide jobs, man. I mean, I think you pulled some slide jobs on asphalt racing before. So tell me, what's it take to pull off the right slide job here? Especially for going for the win on the last lap. How do you set it up? How do you make it happen? Is it a little bit of prayer going on, or can you think you can calculate it and make it happen?
Yeah, I mean, definitely you can calculate it. The key to it is just getting a really good run. Try to figure out where your competitor is slow at, or you're better than him at. Get a really good run, through one corner, off the corner, have that momentum going, and then just try to get under them down the straight and try to throw it in there low and swash up in front of them. But like I said, you may catch them at the wrong time generating that run, and they clip the wall, and then it's over.
Well, with about 4 laps to go here, Aaron Adcock doing a great job of just keeping running that top line and not allowing Garrett Kinder to get to the outside. But Garrett is there. So the likelihood, and Garrett gets into the wall a little bit, and he's gonna cost him quite a bit of time. And look at Josh Lokowitz in 3rd place, has moved up a spot and is starting to catch these guys a little bit here, Chris.
Yeah, he's definitely letting it hang out back there. But he has nobody around him. He's able to run what he wants to run, and I think Kinder he was at that point where he had to do something. I think he just pushed a little too hard and stepped over the line.
Starting to catch him now, but wonder if we're going to see maybe an attempt as Lokowitz now gets into the wall, gets a little bit of that. How tough is it once you get up into the dirty stuff and get over that lip and get to the wall? How tough is it to get back out?
It really all depends on how you get it. If you get it on kind of on corner entry, it's not too bad. But if you what I call pancake the truck through the middle or exit of the corner, you ain't getting off of it hardly. I mean, you pretty much got to get out of the throttle and turn completely down to get off of it. Now, if you got some rotation in the truck and just clip it with the rear, as long as you anticipate that and put some wheels in it, it ain't too bad. But if you pancake it, it's a nightmare to get off of.
Here's the attempt. Slide job on the last lap. The 13 sails it off in there, does complete it. But Aaron Adcock, oh my goodness, they're wrecking across the line. But it looks like Aaron was able to take it. 0.035 second advantage over Aaron Adcock as let's go back and look at that one more time, and we'll start with the slide job from 13 as we look on the Kinder Farm and Ranch. Rewind, the 13 is going to drive it down, and we're sliding to the heat. Moving on to the next heat. Chris, we're going to let you go, buddy. Thanks for color commentating with me.
Thank you, buddy.
We're falling apart. But let's bring Garrett Kinder up into the booth. He's going to do a little commentating for this heat. Thought it'd be cool to bring some drivers up here with some really good knowledge. And, man, I tell you what, got some stuff to put in your memory bank for this one, Garrett, as you tried the slide job. Wasn't able to get it done. Or you got it done, but Aaron able to get it back on you there.
Yeah, Aaron is no slouch when it comes to this dirt racing stuff. It's one of them things, man. Got in the wall a little bit and lost some position. Might have tried something a little bit earlier, just didn't work out. But yeah, man, that was fun. Able to reel him back in and throw that slider coming through 3 and 4 with the white flag out. It was fun.
All right, well, grid set up for the second heat. Chris McLean, Joseph Mahar is your front row. McLean seemed to feel pretty confident about his run tonight. George Williams, Charles Stevens, Kip Easley, Stephen Ayers, James Kunkel, Dana Shepard, and Anthony Edgerton and Matt Rogers is your top 10 for this heat. So what you learned there, Garrett, as you were, man, just trying to run down Aaron Adcock, able to get in position to take that slider. What did you learn that maybe you could take in the heat?
You can kind of overrun the cushion a little bit and get up in the fluff and that nasty dirt a little bit, and really pick up some speed. Man, it's fun out there right now. It is single lane. I think once we get to this feature, I think track state's going to carry over. You'll see some bottom lane stuff come in, maybe further back in the pack, especially where guys are making some moves, making some passes. But definitely going to be a top line dominant race starting out for sure. It's going to be some tough passing, but it's going to be fun to watch. You'll get sliders from the basement coming up.
All right, we're getting ready to go green. Chris McLean out on the front row. We saw the top line have an advantage on the initial start of the last heat. It looks like it's going to be the same here. Let's see if McLean can get that back here on this corner. Mahar has got it rolling, but he gets into the wall, and that opens the door, and that allows Chris McLean to get out front. And, man, we got guys all over the racetrack. Got somebody down on the bottom. Charles Stevens Jr. deciding to try to get down there early.
Oh.
Tail slaps the 46.
That's something we noticed as the race went on. Aaron and I got to talking about it, about how much that cushion moved up just in that short 10-lap heat race starting out. That was, I think, one of the reasons that Chris McLean was able to get that lead off the start here. Is Mahar had to take a longer way around than Adcock did just because that cushion, it's up there.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's see if we got any battles. Got anybody? Everybody just trying to feel this out right now as Chris McLean seems to be pulling away. We got a few drivers trying to fight it out back here. Matt Rogers and Tony Edgerton back here fighting it out for ninth place. Everybody going to the feature tonight, but these are just fun little heats as everybody's starting to separate a little bit. As you got James Kunkel and Stephen Ayers. As Stephen Ayers is going to get to the wall.
Little wall riding through 1 and 2 there.
Yeah, they got fenders on them for a reason. So
that's right. It's dirt racing. There's not too much aerodynamic in play here. It's all about mechanical grip. And so you can beat and bang and maybe pop up some body panels here and there that you would be just absolutely cursing if you were on pavement. But we're on dirt tonight, Eddie. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, and it's fun to have these little heats because you can really get used to everything. Work out the kinks, race around guys, and make mistakes, and then not carry over into the feature. I mean, where you finish in the heat does matter, but you get a brand new truck, you get brand new tires, and so you get a lot of. You see James Kunkel just wall riding, getting stuck to the wall.
Looks like Charles Stevens making a move for P2 up here. He's battling hard on that bottom, trying to get a run off. It's just so loose down there.
Yeah, I raced with Charles Stevens the other night in another league running the Xfinity cars. Here at Bristol Dirt, and I think experience is going to play a big difference in how these guys race. A lot of guys don't race dirt that often, but Charles has been running it for.
Oh, he's going to have a good shot here.
Yeah, as George Williams gets into the wall, and that gives the spot to Charles Stevens, who just slings it in there and takes that second position.
Slides up to top, see if he can. Yeah, he'll get that top drive off. P2 for Charles Stevens, outstanding.
Yeah, that was a fantastic move. Yeah, so I expect to see some good things out of him. Maybe Chuck Feltz as well. A couple drivers has been running a lot of dirt this week. So Aaron Adcock showed his strength early on. So I expect to see a lot of folks who've been really, really putting in the time, putting in the effort.
Got one around. Looks like in 1 and 2, the 48 truck of James Kunkel.
Right behind him is Chris McLean, who is on the final lap, has a 2.6 second lead over Charles Stevens Jr., and he is going to rim ride off of turn 4 and take the win in heat number 2. So congratulations to Chris as he looks to be pretty quick out there. How are you going to deal with it, Garrett?
Man, it's going to be difficult. You're going to have to let that track wear in. Eventually, that cushion will go away in 1 and 2, and you'll be able to maybe make some moves on the bottom, but it's going to be late race, I think, before this thing migrates down.
All right, well, we are moving into the I don't know what we're doing here.
We're going to have a little bit of a warm-up, I think, or a consolation race maybe.
Is it a consolation? Okay.
I
All
believe
right.
we're on a consi.
Flying
Yeah,
by the seat of her pants. I like it. If you want to stay up in here, that's fine.
absolutely. I'll hang out
All
with you.
right. Well, got some a consolation race. As we'll go ahead and pull that up, and we'll show you the grid. Who's going to start on the front row? Here is Willie Evernham and Joseph Mahar, Daniel Holcroft and Steve Ayers Jr., Alan Nash and Anthony Edgerton, Lance Spohnberg, and he's got a SpongeBob helmet, and his car's got SpongeBob. I love it. that is leaning into it. I love it.
It is. It is.
Yeah, people call him SpongeBob because of his last name, and he is leaning into it. I love it. Dana Shepard right next to him. Alan Smith, Matt Rogers, Chuck Feltz, and James Kunkel going to be your top 12 drivers for this consolation race. I don't exactly know how the rules are going to work here. I'm assuming this just sets the rest of the field for the feature. So big
So your
big
top,
race
the
here,
way it's
yeah.
going to work, the top 8 is set. They're the ones that advance from the 2 original heats, and this is going to set from I guess P9 on back to the rest of the field right here.
Well, there you have it. Well, a chance for some of these guys to improve their starting position, but also get some more practice. It could be a slight advantage for some of these guys to be able to get back on track, run some more laps.
Oh, absolutely, especially with this track state going away further and further. I look in 1 and 2, and that apron or that cushion's getting thin right in the middle, and you're going to have to be able to manage that. And I think these guys are going to get some extra practice through it.
Yeah, well, really fun part about dirt that I hope makes its way into asphalt, while not as pronounced, being able to move with the groove, I think is a very, very cool aspect of racing. It really makes the races more dynamic. Dirt racing has it. I'm hoping to see it one time in asphalt soon, where you really have to move around, find the rubbered up area to find that grip. But getting ready to go green here, Willie Evernham with the top spot. Joseph Mahar going to look to get another great restart and maybe use that top line to his advantage. Green flag is out.
He goes up there again, see if Willie's able to do the same thing Chris did. Willie's sliding up.
Yeah, Willie really squeezing him. Yeah, the Larson squeeze right there, and Willie Evernham able to take the lead.
Oh, we got one in the wall.
Oh,
SpongeBob's in the wall.
SpongeBob in the wall. We got trucks. Oh, Alan Smith gets into Dana Shepard. Wonder if that's a little hold up.
Going around.
We got all kinds of guys going around. I wonder if that's a little hold up from last week. I know Alan Smith, Dana Shepard had some issues last week, but right now, only 8 laps in the consolation. Willie Evernham, though, with the lead. Joseph Mahar looking to take it away. Got action all over the track. But we watch on board with Joseph Mahar as he tries to run him down. We've seen you do this in the last race, trying to run down, or the first heat, trying to run down Aaron Adcock. What is Mahar dealing with here that he is trying to set up for that last lap pass?
Honestly, it's a lot of nerves. Dirt racing, especially for a lot of these guys, is not something that comes customary for a lot. So you get right on somebody's bumper like I was running with Adcock, and you can feel your blood start pumping a little bit as if you make a mistake or he makes a mistake, that's probably going to ruin both of your races. So as he reels him in here, if he's able to, maybe get some touch, get, within half a car length of him, that heart rate's going to spike. I wish that, Stephen Ayers Jr. looks like he's around rolling back down towards pit road. But, yeah, a lot of nerves come into it whenever you're running P2 trying to make a pass.
Well, he's got a lot of work to do as Willie Evernham runs the fastest lap of this consolation. Willie really rim riding. He's even getting
He's up
the
there.
wall. Yeah, I mean, it seems to be okay if you're running as close to the wall as he is, getting a little tap into the wall. It doesn't seem to be. It's a different version of the Bristol bounce, but it seems to work. I've seen some guys use that to their advantage. So I don't know if that's something we'll see more in the feature or not, but you see Willie doing it quite a bit. So these trucks usually are not very stout as far as damage goes. So I don't know how much you're willing to push that damage model there on the truck.
Well, Eddie, I don't know if you watched the Cup Series race on Sunday at the Bristol Dirt, but there was a point that got brought up that it definitely translated over and actually helped me quite a bit running through practice and stuff. Whenever you get up there in the cushion and you tap that right rear, you don't want to let out of it. If you let out of it, it brings that nose around, and when you bring the nose around, you get your nose in the wall. That's whenever you lose a lot of time. If you just keep those rear wheels spinning, you can normally just drag that right rear along the wall as far as you want to, and then just hammer back down off exit.
Hammer back down, Willie Evernham does as he takes the win here in the consolation race. Joseph Maher comes in second. Daniel Holcroft, Alan Nash in third. So you can see all the results. Heat races, NI races move very, very quickly, so it's hard to give you the full spiel, but you can see on the left side of the screen where everybody finishes. We get ready for the feature here. Well, Garrett, any last thoughts before we set you off and let you go race here in the feature and try to get that win?
Buckle up, boys. That's all I got to say. It's going to be fun.
There you have it. Garrett Kidder, definitely appreciate him. We got about a 5-minute warm-up. Let's talk to some drivers, man. Let's see where guys, how they're feeling. Let's talk to Willie Evernham, who was able to win that consolation race there, and see what his thoughts are on the race tonight. Willie, is Eddie in the booth? You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, able to get the win in the consolation race, holding off Joseph Mahar there, trying to make a really big run. You look really comfortable on dirt. Tell me about your dirt background. How much are you looking forward to tonight, and what do you got to do to get this win?
It's been a while since I raced dirt. Ran dirt a little bit when I was younger in real life, so it's a little bit different on a video game here. But I don't know. I don't really run the dirt trucks in Bristol, but when they had Eldora on here, I ran a lot in the trucks. It's obviously a different track, but man, the old number 91 Desired Image. We might not win the feature, but at least we got a B main win.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, any kind of win is always good. If I go out there and I race a squirrel around the track, I count that as a win. So that's a pretty good way to start the feature. I mean, what can you take into the feature? What have you learned so far that you can apply and maybe use to maybe get that win in the feature?
Man, it's all about just the way the track's moving, and it's going to change so consistent, and then having to change your driving style to stay with consistent laps and not throttle up on the corner coming off. I was trying a little bit there, and it kind of bit me, and I got in the wall a couple times, just trying some stuff out, just overdriving it, just thinking there was more grip than there actually was. But patience is probably going to be key here. Follow the guys that are fast, and hopefully they make a mistake and just keep everything clean. That's the plan.
All right, as the track starts to slick off, how do you move around? Talk me through. Tell the people watching, how do you move around? How do you choose where you run as the track starts to slick off, and you start to see those really shiny portions of the track? How do you move around? How do you find grip here at a dirt track?
Like you said, it's going to get really shiny. So up top, you're going to be right up against the wall, but hopefully towards the end of the race here with all the trucks running, that maybe something on the bottom. I know a lot of guys don't like to catfish and run the bottom, but that seems where the moisture is going to be. So hopefully we can get something working around there if we're starting kind of mid-pack. So hopefully we can, as the race progresses, we can work on getting something down on the bottom, and I don't know, maybe sneak some spots out of some guys here while they're up there trying to fight against the wall. Yes,
sir. Well, all right, brother. Thank you for talking to me. Good luck tonight.
I appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
That's Willie Evernham. And let's talk to some other people. Let's find some folks out there that might be willing to chit-chat with me. Let's talk to Alan Smith. Alan, this is Eddie in the booth. You got a copy?
Yo, what's up?
Well, we got just a few minutes left in warm-up. You see you out there beating and banging with Joseph Mahar. Tell me about dirt racing. Tell me what you've learned so far, and what do you like it, dislike it, and how you feeling about the feature as we've got just a few minutes left here in warm-up.
Well, it's just not my cup of tea. I don't do it a lot, but I'm having a good time. I like sliding around. I like beating and banging with everybody, so that's always fun. Get to take my frustrations out on people, and they take them out on me. So anyway. But yeah, it's a good time. I like slinging it around. I've been running a few official races this week and try to just make sure I'm not wrecking the whole field.
Well, the Trigger Time number 3 machine looked fast out there, made some contact in that last heat. But you get a brand new truck here in the feature. What have you learned so far? What have you picked up here in the first little bit that you can kind of, what have you learned about where to position the truck, how to arc it in there, how much throttle? What have you learned as far as the mechanics go?
Well, I've just got to be able to control this rear end with this throttle, which I'm not very good at, but I'm learning. And on difference on these races is you can throttle it down the straightaways. So I like that. But if you you know, if you race it with somebody very long, I just give it a little break, try to do a crossover, and see if I can go under them. But you got to stay off that low side. That low side is not your friend tonight.
Well, there you have it. Good information here from Alan Smith. Good luck tonight.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
There you have it. I mean, all kinds of perspectives here tonight. You hear, you know, trying to keep it clean, but hey, I want to have fun. I'm here to beat bangs, dirt, and it's a good time to do it because you actually can. That's one thing I do love about dirt is there seems to be a good amount of leniency for being able to beat and bang, and that's always welcome. So let's go ahead and get into the grid. And we got to give the Chuck Peg Leg Pole Award winner. And, of course, that goes to Aaron Adcock, who was the winner in that first heat and will start out on the front row in the pole position. So Chuck Peg Leg Pole Award goes to Aaron Adcock. All right, well, let's go ahead and get the Low Cash Motorsports starting grid as we got to get rolling because, man, the dirt stuff rolls fast. On the front row, Aaron Adcock, Chris McLean. Little Po Man Motorsports front row. Garrett Kinder, Charles Stevens, Josh Lokovitz, and George Williams. Chris Bedwell and Kip Easley. Willie Evernham, Joseph Mahar. Alan Nash, Daniel Holcroft. Anthony Anderson, Alan Smith. Dana Shepard, Matt Rogers. Stephen Ayers Jr. and Lance Sponberg. And then bringing up the rear of the field is James Kunkel and Chuck Phelps, both having issues in their races. But hey, they got a feature here to make it happen. Get it back rolling, and that is your Low Cash Motorsports starting grid. Really, really excited to get this thing going here. Gonna have a stage break at lap 25, so these guys gonna be fighting it out. Top 5 will gain stage points, all important stage points that'll make the difference. Could make and break your playoff run. But let's get ready to go racing. I'm excited to see how this is going to play out. Aaron Adcock with a great restart. Let's see on the first heat. Let's see if he can do that again, or is that top side going to be dominant? And it looks like it is. Is Chris McLean going to jump out to an early lead? As, man, we've got trucks everywhere as you see the 95 of Chris Bedwell. Oh, and people are door slamming here on the front straightaway. As, man, we've got guys going all over the place. 2, 3 wide as guys are trying to navigate as they go back through the field. Everybody's starting to spread out, but Chris McLean with the early lead with Aaron Adcock. Not too far behind as we try to find some battles here. We're going to watch Garrett Kinder, who has lost a couple spots, but is trying to regain them on that middle line. Is able to make that pass on George C. Williams. And now looks ahead to the 95 and the 88 as the 95 is going to get really loose, just trying to keep it off the wall as Charles Stevens is letting it all hang out here. Garrett Kinder going to look down to the inside, maybe thought about it, but then decided against it. Bedwell getting into the wall. That's going to slow him up off the corner. Garrett Kinder going to have to check up. George Williams gives him a shot. And Garrett Kinder, though, moves up into the 4th position. Man, great racing so far. I wish I could see more of the track, but I can't see all the battles that are going on throughout the field as Garrett Kinder gets a little bit of the wall. The 95 still. 95's been wall riding all the first part of this race. So guys trying to position themselves for this lap 25 stage break. But look at Aaron Adcock has run down Chris McLean. He is on the outside and gets a run, man. The 17 Aaron Adcock looking really fast. He looks like he may be the one to beat tonight, as he has run down Chris McLean, who won his heat by 2.5 seconds. But Aaron Adcock, man, he is looking really, really fast. So far, caution free. We love to see it as we're watching this battle for the lead. The 5 truck gets a little bit of that wall, but we've seen that hasn't really mattered. As I can't tell, but it looks like the screen is frozen on Aaron. He's definitely driving a lot harder than that screen shows, so I don't know what's happening to him. But he is stuck on he's got a big old smile. Let's refresh the page. Don't think we can. Let's see if we can get this showing back. Cause he's losing a little bit of ground as I'm fiddling with too much stuff here. But trying to get this fixed. Okay, there we go. Now we got Aaron back. We can see the steering wheel, how he is trying to fight this truck as they are starting to catch the rear of the field here with just 15 laps to go in this. And you see just how much of the wheel he's having to use. In asphalt racing, you don't really do that. You just kind of smooth it on the wheel. As you see here on dirt, you got to constantly be working that wheel. Oh, as it got a big wreck is Alan Smith. We saw him sitting sideways on the track, and he has gone around and caution has come out here at Bristol Dirt. And you see some smoke coming out of that 3 machine. I wonder what happened. Let's see if we can go back and find it. And we see that's the 62 of Stephen Ayers goes around and then comes back down the track, and Alan Smith just with nowhere to go. He's trying to slow down, but it's just impossible as he slides down the track. And that's your Kinder Farm Ranch Wreckage Rewind. So under our first caution of the night of the whole thing. So really impressive by these guys already. You see a lot of smoke coming out of the 3 machine. The 62 of Stephen Ayers as well with a lot of smoke. They do have a fast repair, so they will be able to go down pit road here and get those trucks fixed up and get that damage fixed. But you see the 62, man, looking a little toe up. Kind of go back and see if we can see maybe where this all started. We'll go on board with Stephen Ayers since we are under our first caution of the night. See how it's controlled chaos. He is just sliding all over, working the throttle, steering wheel, and you see that slick there, that little shiny part right there. It makes it very difficult. You can see it just gets loose and just loses the truck on entry. There's just not any grip there anymore. So guys are gonna have to move around, try to find that grip. And if you're not careful, this is what can happen. But he does come out with a fresh truck. And so he is back in action, but that is all for his fast repairs. Him and Alan Smith both. Oh, Alan Smith currently on pit road, did not take a fast repair, so that will effectively take him out of this race. Not really sure why. He's got the fast repair in the bank. Not really sure why he didn't elect to use that, but either way. Chris McLean, though, still your leader. As hopefully we can get back racing soon. Have a little quick run to the stage break at lap 25. Current top 5: Chris McLean, Aaron Adcock, Garrett Kinder, Charles Stevens Jr., and Chris Bedwell. So far, your biggest movers of the race: James Kunkel, that 48, had trouble early in those couple races. Saw him spinning, pointed the wrong direction in one in the consolation. and he is up 7 spots from where he started. Then Chuck Pegleg, same deal there, has made up 4 spots. So these guys making moves early, like to see it. Chris McLean, though, going to lead us down to the green flag. But now a different scenario. While they don't have to wait on the green flag this time, so Chris can go whenever he wants. It could still be difficult to get the rear tires to really catch grip. And it looks like he does do a good job as the 13 pushing the 17. 17 will have the top side. Let's see if the 5 can slide up in front of Aaron. He does. A little bump from the 17. He really has no. Oh, my goodness. And Chris Bedwell and Willie Evernham make contact. A big wreck down on the front straightaway. Josh Lokovitz, Dana Shepard involved as Chris Bedwell. Trucks everywhere. Alan Smith involved again after he took his faster pair. And we see, can't really see who that is. I think that's Spawnberg with a ton of damage. See there, Josh Lokovitz with some smoke coming out of his 79 machine. He's got a QR code on his truck. That's interesting. Somebody scan that QR code and see what happens. You're probably going to lose all the money in your bank account if I know Josh. Let's go check out what happened there on the Kenner Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. As we'll watch the 95 on that restart. We do have a little bit of time, so we'll watch a little bit more than maybe we normally watch. Just watch how chaotic the restarts are. And see how, look how far he's got the wheel turned and that track really slicked off. As he gets into the 91 and him get together off the corner in the 8th, and Kip Beasley also involved. And yeah, just no harm, no foul, other than the fact that they're wrecked. But you'll see the 95, the 91 sneaks up to the outside, but the 95 not able to get. You'll see him, as we'll back it up just a little bit, you'll see right here when the truck kind of unwinds. You want to keep it just like that, all the way off the corner. You see right there, the truck straightens up, and at that point, there's just nothing that can be done. And the 91 really with nowhere to go. And then you see the 79 get into him. So caution yet again as Chris McLean hangs on to the lead, as we barely got a lap in, is big damage to a lot of drivers there. Let's bring Charles Stevens up here and let's talk to him. Charles, is Eddie in the booth? Got a copy?
I got you, man.
Well, you're looking really racy out there. You've run a couple dirt races this week. You're looking confident, though. That truck seems to be hooked up just right, and you're currently running in the 3rd position. Man, how do you feel out there, and what do you need to get this race won tonight?
Well, after the last dirt race I did, I feel like I'm a professional dirt racer in these trucks. So I'm just going to keep trying to ride the top, stay out of trouble, and hopefully I just stay out of trouble.
Well, there you have it. Stay out of trouble. That sounds like a pretty good decision there. So good luck to you, Charles.
Awesome. Thanks, Eddie.
Charles Stevens feeling confident, but maybe not too confident. Raced with him the other night in Xfinity Series League, and I think I may have gotten a little bit too confident. And what happens here at Dirt, it'll get you. So being smart all the way to the end is what you got to do. And you can see the group really moving here. And you see those shiny places on the track. That's where that track is just slick as all get out. And you really need to move the truck around to try to find that space. Is Aaron, Chris McLean gets a great jump there, as maybe Aaron's sleeping just a little bit. Not sure if that was some teamwork going on there, but actually Charles Stevens going to be a big loser there as he drops all the way back to 5th there on that restart. So be Lance Sponge Bob. Nope, he does go around. Oh, we see him make contact. It's just jumbling up 4 wide back here as they come off the corner, and it looks like Chris Bedwell yet again. Same thing that happened earlier. You see the 95 here gets into the back of Lokovitz. Somebody gets into the wall. Some contact here, and then it goes 4 wide here for just a second. And the 95 and the 96 make contact off the corner, and again the same type of deal. And unfortunately for Lance, he goes around. So Lance really had nothing to do with any of that, and he is the big loser in that whole deal. That's a tough deal. But currently sitting on pit road along with Dana Shepard, as got repairs to be done to that 56 Lowe's SpongeBob machine. Well, while we're waiting, let's talk to George Williams and see how he's feeling about tonight. George, this is Eddie in the booth. Got a copy?
Eddie Smith, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing great. It looks like you're having a lot more fun than me, though, out there just sliding that 40 machine around. You slid it all the way up into 3rd position. On the move here in the top 5. How's that 40 truck feeling tonight?
Oh, man, I've got the McLovin on the hood. We're having a good time. We're feeling super bad. We're just going to go out here and have fun. Love getting to hang out with my teammates and really just out here racing with a bunch of good guys. It's always fun. That's the focus. Where we finish doesn't really matter so long as we have fun while we're doing it.
Yeah, getting ready to go green. What do you need to do to get this track? It's moving around. The grooves are moving around. What do you need to do to chase that truck and find that groove?
Well, you've heard it. Starting on the inside is not the good way to achieve that, but realistically, it's just feathering that throttle and finding every corner, every lap is going to be different than the last one, and it's not that hard to be able to keep it, under control. The problem is if somebody else is keeping it under control but faster than you, then it gets a little crazy. So just try and be as fast as I can, but as smooth as I can. I don't know how to use the wall like some of these guys do. They seem to touch the wall and then they're faster. I touch the wall and I'm stuck on it for 3 seconds. So I've got to just be careful not to get stuck on it and have fun. Thanks again for everything you do, Eddie.
All right. Good luck there, George. There you have it. George Williams currently running in the 3rd position as we get ready on this restart to go back racing. The 5 going to take the top side. I'm surprised that hasn't happened already. That's, I think, a pretty smart move. Going to get him in the best position possible here on this restart. You see the 17 kind of laying back a little bit. Interesting to see that happening. But Chris McLean gets kind of a good jump, but gets not able to get the power down the straightaway. You see the leader have an issue getting the power down, and here comes Aaron Adcock out to the front. Takes over the top spot. Here comes the 5 right back, going to pull a slider on his teammate. The 17 goes back down to the inside. Boy, these guys are having fun, man. I can tell you, I am jealous. It looks like they're having way more fun than I am. 17 gets real cocked there on the, and caution is back out. I can't really see who is involved there. Oh, the 96 of Matt Rogers catches the barrels, and that brings out the caution. Let's go on board rather than watch that. See him and Lokovitz make a little bit of contact here. I think it was just normal contact as there. Matt Rogers coming back down the track. Ooh, hits those water barrels to the entry of pit road and goes around. big damage on that 96 machine, as you don't want to hit those water barrels. Does not make for a good time. Matt Rogers still has his fast repair. I think this is as good a time as any to use it. It does come down pit road. But Aaron, with under that restart, him and his teammate going back and forth, he's able to take the top spot back, as Chris McLean had a little issue on the restart, not able to get the power down. You could see the tires he was just spinning the rears down the straightaway. So wonder if he can get that lead back, would he take the top again? It just didn't go over well that time. Just over halfway here in the Bristol Dirt Race here at Apex. Want to shout out our main sponsor, ApexSimRacingGear.com. Definitely go check them out. We got sim racing, button boxes, dashboards, accessories, LEDs. You got switches, knobs. You got all kinds of stuff to really flesh out your sim rig. Maybe if you just, maybe you've got, a really nice recliner and you want to add like a shifter to it or have a steering wheel. That way you can race along with them on Sunday or even race along with them here on Thursday night. ApexSimRacing.com is where you want to go. Lights are still on the pace car or truck, as we have just a few laps left to go. All the trucks look all tore up, and we love it. And you see Joseph Mahar riding up against the wall. Now, he's either trying to extend that cushion out just a little bit, or he's trying to keep his tires cool, those right sides. Put them over there in the cool dirt. Cool them off a little bit. I don't know if that's a strategy or not, but I'm going to make it up. We'll just pretend like it is, as he's running way, way up there. Love to see the green flag racing. We saw a lot of the heats kind of go green, but here in the feature, it's been a mess, as folks just having issues either get through the corner or racing side by side, which is to be expected. I don't think that's a surprise at all, but we'd love to see this thing go green for just a few laps and watch these guys race it out. As man, they're all putting on a show from the front of the field to the back. So Aaron Adcock takes the top. We'll see if he can make it work. Much better start for the 17 as the 5, man, just not having a great night on restarts already, as he's going to try to slide up in front of George Williams. Gets a little bump there from George as they come off the corner. George gets in the corner to 13. They slam doors. Man, we love it. Come on. I love to see that. The 40 back on the wagon and gets that thing rolling around the top side of the 13. Going to get right behind him almost immediately. And you see, battle for the lead. The 40's going to get bound up a little bit, but able to Bristol bounce it and get a little bit of speed. As we watch on board Garrett Kender. I tell you what, man, I'm impressed. Two people I'm really impressed with, Aaron Adcock and George Williams, as caution is out again. Looks like maybe Matt Rogers goes around again, or he actually gets in the back end of, Josh Lokovitz just losing it, trying to get down. He's almost 3 wide under Chuck Felser, and he's just trying to sling that thing in there. I applaud the effort. Just gets it a little bit too sideways, and the 96 goes around. You see the 3 just goes around trying to avoid any more damage to the 3 machine. So back under yellow. Becoming sort of a caution fest here. like I said, it's a little disappointing considering how the heats went. And the racing is just so good right now. If these guys can just keep it together, and we can get some green flag laps, see Kip Easley getting the lucky dog. So he's going to go around and get himself back on the lead lap. So good work by Kip staying in it. Now he has got 20 laps to make it happen. He seemed to be pretty fast early on, caught up in that first big wreck. But he is back on the lead lap now. Now, you must be wondering, why aren't these guys coming down pit road and getting tires? Well, here at dirt, on dirt, just not an improvement. You know, Kyle Larson, one of the best dirt racers, obviously, maybe in the world, during the Cup race, electing to stay out, or he come down for fuel, but actually didn't change tires, and just concerned with how the car reacted on cold sticker tires. And so here, you really want to keep the heat in these tires. You don't want to go on into pit road and put new tires on. You sort of lose all grip for about 2 or 3 laps, and that could be detrimental. So guys just going to stay out, got plenty of fuel to make it to the end. So you won't see hardly any pit stops, at least for tires and fuel. We'll look from the cockpit of Aaron Adcock, leader, as you can see that track moving. You see that area he's in right now. It's starting to slick off, and you can see right up here at the top, you've got to put the right rear. See if we can get a camera here. You want this right rear in that non-slick area right here where Aaron is running. You want your right rear right there in the middle of that car, that light dirt area. That's where that right rear needs to be to get the most grip off the top side. Don't want to put it in that slick area. You'll see the same thing happen that happened to Lokovitz there. Just get a little bit too loose on entry. And if you put all 4 tires right in the slick, it is very, very difficult to keep that truck straight. Line back up again to go green. Under 20 laps to go. The 17 gets a fantastic jump again. McLean just not able to get it going on these restarts, but he's going to work the bottom, try to make something happen. Garrett Kinder out to the outside of the 5 machine, the 13 making his way up into the top 3. 5 drives it deep, he's going for a slider. Oh boy, it's going to be close, not able to make it happen. And he's going to lose a couple spots trying to make that happen, and he falls all the way back to 4th. As, oh my goodness, they're all in the wall. Charles Stevens is sideways. Now we got a battle. We got battles all over the place, but we got a battle for the lead about to happen as we watch Charles Stevens and Chris McLean side by side. Battle for the lead though. Garrett Kidder to the outside of the 17 and takes the lead here with 15 laps to go, moving forward at the right time. Aaron Adcock falling back into the clutches of the 40 of George Williams. As we got James Kunkel sliding down the straightaway here and brings out another caution. Watch what happens at 48, goes down into the corner, gets a little bump, and then gets into Alan Nash, and they go around, and then I'm not really sure what was going on there. Bedwell involved in games. Bedwell seems to have been involved in a lot of stuff tonight, but I'm not sure what happened. This 48 just gets in there, gets a little bump from the 95. 27 goes around, and the 48 gets loose, gets into the 95, and just spins out. And who once was our biggest mover of the race, now back in the 17th position. But Garrett Kinder able to drive up to the front, take advantage of that, being on that top line, and Chris McLean not getting a good start, and then drove right by the leader, Aaron Adcock. Let's see if we can go back and find that pass. Watch the 13 try to set up the, see, gets up right into the wall, gets the speed that he needs off the corner, does the Bristol bounce, and actually 17 drives down to the bottom. 17 gives him the top line, which I'm surprised to see. The 17 just overclocks it into the corner. That's made up of the phrase that I just did, and the 13 takes the lead. So that's how the 13 was able to make that happen. Lots of stuff going on the track, trying to cover as much as possible. But also don't want to miss these awesome passes for the lead. We'll see if we can maybe talk to James Kunkel, see if he is in Discord. We'll surprise him and pull him up into the booth and see what his thoughts are on that incident. James, this Eddie in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, you were the biggest mover there for a while, and there just a few laps ago had an issue where you got a hold of somebody and just came out on the bad end of it. And that's a couple times now that you've just been on the bad end of these deals. What's going on out there that you're seeing that's making it so difficult to for you just to get to the front, maybe?
Yeah, it's just this race is winding down. You know, you can't go anywhere in the bottom. Everybody's fighting for the top, so it's just a product of, even though it's covered in dirt, it's still short track races. So you kind of expect when you get late in these things. So no harm, no foul.
Well, you've got some life in that 48 machine still left. You're still running in 17th. What do you need to do to get up through there?
I need about 12 car trucks to wreck right here.
Well, it's definitely possible. Good luck, James.
Appreciate it, y'all.
James Kunkel gonna try to make it up through the field. Garrett Kinder, Aaron Adcock gonna fight it out here for the win with only 9 laps to go. We are down to paycheck cash in time. Who is gonna take the win here at Bristol Dirt? Is it gonna be the 13, the 17, or somebody gonna sneak in from the top 5 and get it done? Charles Stevens now in the catbird seat on the outside. If he can make it work, actually bouncing it off the wall, see if he can make that top side work. Garrett Kinder with a clean top side, but here comes the 17. Oh, they make contact in the back. 17 though going for that slider yet again. Here comes George C. Williams. Garrett Kinder with the outside though. He's got the momentum that he needs and not able to get back up there. Garrett Kinder pulling away now the battle is for second place. As here comes Chris Bedwell out of nowhere. Mr. Where did he come from? Involved in almost that come every wreck, and here he is in 4th position, going to the inside of Charles Stevens. Going to let it bounce up a little bit and slide in front of the 88 who goes 3 wide. And here comes Chris McLean. My goodness. Oh, Charles Stevens goes for a slider on Bedwell. Not able to really complete that exactly, but he does have the outside, and the 95 just slams the 88 into the corner. These guys are not playing around. I can imagine this is not over just yet, but caution does come out as it looks like Dana Shepard may have crashed. I'm not sure. Kip Easley? Yeah, it looks like Kip Easley goes around. Let's go see what happened to him. Another one of those deals, man. Just nowhere to go. Watch here. You see guys just trying to get all they can. That track is slick. James Kunkel there on the inside. The 8 overcooks it a little bit. They tail slap each other. And the 8 gets into the wall. And then, oh, Anthony Anderson overcorrects back in front of the 8. Poor 8 just, Kip Easley just, I mean, everybody hit him there. I mean, look, all 4 corners of that truck has been knocked in, and so tough deal there for the 8. Should get a green-white checkered though, I believe. They should be set up. We'll see how many there are. Let's cheat a little bit. Can't really see just yet what it's going to be, but man, it has been a wild race. Lots of cautions, but the racing has been really good as we've seen guys just doing all kinds of slide jobs, really aggressive moves to try to get these positions. And it's worked for some people. You know, if you look at the game positions, Chuck Feltz, who we haven't really talked about that much, has been just quietly gaining a ton of spots. He's inside the top 10 right now with 10 spots gained. Stephen Ayers, Dana Shepard, and James Kunkel, George Williams all up a handful of spots. But man, look at Chuck. There when it counts, he's looking for some money. It pays, as Corey LaJoy would say, the pay window's open, and Chuck's trying to get some money here inside the top 10 with just a few laps to go. Up front, though, still Garrett Kinder as let's get the timing tower out of the way. Let's see if I don't see any. There you go. Green, white checker. You can see on the screen. We'll give you a little bit of that, even though it's a little hacky. But there's really no way for me to broadcast the green, white checkers on the overlay, so at least you can see that, and we'll know how many we have. 2 green, white checkers here. I think it's going to be a mess. I think we use both of them and then some. Look at the front of these trucks. Aaron Adcock, or Garrett Kinder, with quite a bit of mud. So is Aaron Adcock, just throwing up all that dirt. First of 2 green, white checkered, so we will go take the green flag. If they come around, take the white. That will be the final lap. If they don't take the white flag, they'll rack them up, do it one more time, and then the next flag will end the race after that. So if you're the 13, you've got to get the power down. You don't want Aaron to be close. If Aaron's close enough, that slider becomes an option. The 13 really needs to get going and get gone, because the 17 has been strong all night long. We can expect to see quite a few Hail Marys. So Chris Bedwell not been shy to make some moves himself. That bottom line just could not get going. Aaron going to be in trouble here as he's going to have to fight off the 95. 95 with some new life. Here comes Chris McLean as they're 4 wide here. Back here for 3rd place. And oh, they make contact and George Williams goes around. That's probably going to be a caution, and caution does come out. So we will do it one more time as George Williams heartbreak here as he makes contact and goes around and falls all the way back to the 16th position as they were 4 wide for a second there. Let's go back and check that out for sure. Man, we're getting a lot of Kinder Farm and Ranch wreckage rewinds as we'll try to get that back and see exactly what happened. We'll watch from the far chase view as you see the just how hectic it is. I don't know why it's changing cameras, but we'll look again. Sit here 4 wide, just not going to work. George just runs out of real estate and just spins off the front bumper of who I think was Charles Stevens. And a couple of the drivers right here getting involved in wrecks. It's the 8 and 3 make contact there as caution comes out. Just guys trying to slow up, and the brakes just act different. Everything's different here on dirt. Obviously, thanks to Kinder Farm and Ranch for the wreckage rewind as always. And you got Kinder Farm and Ranch out front. Gonna have to survive another green-white checker this time, though. If the next flag he sees will be the last. Which doesn't make sense at all, because if he sees the white flag, he will then see the checker flag, So that doesn't make sense at all. This will be the last one, though, so they don't get another shot. So if a caution does come out, that will be the end of it. We want to see it go all the way to the checkered, but I just can't imagine with how things have been going and this being the last attempt that it will play out that way. All right, chat. Y'all are in, chat. Tell me who you think is going to win here. Garrett Kinder with that top side restart position, or can Aaron Adcock get it done, or will somebody like Chris Bedwell, who I'm surprised still has fenders on that 95 machine, can he go in there and sneak a win? Or maybe even Charles Stevens or Chris McLean, a lot of guys who have potential to get it done if we can get all 2 laps in. Lights are still all on the pace truck, so we will still go around one more time. There we are. So they get for this restart. This is it. This is all she wrote, all for the marbles. Garrett Kendrick get this done as, I still don't understand why the second row has been so far back on every restart. I don't know if that's there must be a reason, but I'm not really sure what it is. But let's see if the 17 has anything for the 13. And green flag is out. 13 gets a good jump, and here comes Charles Stevens. Charles Stevens going to try to make it work. Oh, and he gets hit by the 95. Here comes the 17 with the slider attempt. He does. He's able to complete it. They bang doors down the straightaway. Here comes the 13 right back at him. And no, the 17 is going to get loose, and he goes around. Big damage to the 13. Going to take the yellow flag, and that is it. Garrett Kinder takes the win here tonight at Bristol Dirt. That will be all, as we'll take the white flag, and he will get the yellow and checkered flag. And Garrett Kinder takes the win here at Bristol Dirt with an amazing finish. And dadgummit, if I got to go back and watch all that again. We're going to watch back from the restart as we watch these two battle it out. We'll watch from the far chase. See the 17 able to complete that slide job, but 13 going to get down to the inside, and the 17, unfortunately, just going to sling it in there just a little bit too hard, trying to make it stick. Guys just laying it out all on the track. It's just a weird angle as he's right in the slick stuff, and the 17 goes around. And he is going to be, he gets hit by everybody. Just a pinball at this point, still getting hit. As, man, look at that mess right there. Dana Shepard goes for a ride, or that's Daniel Holcroft does a little barrel roll down the straightaway as the 17 is riding backwards. Disappointing race for Aaron Adcock. He's definitely going to be the Trigger Time Hard Luck Award winner there, as he's fighting it out for the lead, gets sideways and loses it on the last lap. But your winner, though, Garrett Kinder, who will come around and take the checkered flag. Garrett Kinder, your winner here tonight. Charles Stevens in second. Chris McLean comes home in third. Woo! Man, what a fun race. As I don't know what's going on here. This is weird. Probably shouldn't have to blur some pixels out, but let's go ahead and get into the post race presented by Poman Motorsports. And we're going to start with the winner, Garrett Kinder. Garrett, the setting of the booth, got a copy.
Hey, Eddie.
Man, wow, that looked like a lot of fun. Stressful with those two green-white checkers, but able to man, just make all the right moves at the right time, get yourself up front, and then survive just a Hail Mary attempt by Aaron Adcock as you two were banging down the back straightaway there, coming to the white flag. Talk a little bit about that restart and talk about your race, man. How did it go as you were working your way to the front?
Oh man, there were some frustrating moments for sure. Guys that are sending it in and not being very courteous to guys on the outside that had that big run of momentum coming. But that's part of dirt racing. So fell back. I think I stayed top 5, top 6 all night, but was able to get some good moves done on some restarts here and there, and just got a good run, end up front. So man, just shout out to the field. It was a lot of fun. Those pole man guys up front, they were running it pretty good. Just a good time, man. Dirt racing's a good time anytime you can do it.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun. Talk about your positioning on the restarts. How important was that to be in the right lane at the right time? Because it seemed like the bottom would work every once in a while. We saw Chris McLean not be able to get the power down on some restarts. How much importance was it to be maybe in the right lane, but also get a good restart there, especially towards the end?
Oh, it was huge. The lanes are wearing out at different times, and the bottom there at the end was, man, it was very neck and neck even. If you were restarting on the top, where you wanted to run for the huge run, but the second place guy actually just about every, especially once the track got wore out, he had an advantage come off of 2 every time. There was more than once Aaron could have slipped in front of me, and we'd have had that crossover move that I threw down in 3 and 4 happen a lot earlier. But man, it's just absolutely paramount. Getting way up against the wall. That's the only spot there's any kind of good dirt left. Trying to get your left rear in it, but it's impossible. Your left rear down there in the slick, and you're spinning, having a good time, and just slinging it around.
Well, slinging around you did, and you just sling it around on everybody tonight as you take home the win. Kinder Farmer Ranch had a lot of wreckage rewinds, but also took the win. That's a pretty good night for Kinder Farmer Ranch. But man, congratulations on the win. That was a fun race. You put it on a show and took home the win. As always, man, who you got to thank?
Well, I don't have my sheet written down anywhere. I don't know what I did with it, so I'm gonna try and do this by memory. So you can help me if I mess up somewhere. I want to thank Kinder Farm and Ranch and Ratchet Speed Shop first and foremost. Been supporting me all along. My mom, she's right there with them, just sending me text messages. Everybody just being real supportive. Want to thank everybody at Big Frig and Cross 5 cattle coolers. If you want to keep your stuff hot and keep your stuff cold for cheaper and longer than anybody else, you should check out Big Frig and Cross 5 cattle coolers at bigfrig.com. Ray Page and Andy over at Wolfpack Racing, some phenomenal guys to know. Told you that 100 times now, but just some really good dudes. All my teammates over here at Poman, affiliate team at Low Cash, we put on a good race. We had 3 of the top 5, 4 of the top 5, it seemed like, for most of the night until me and Aaron made some contact on that last lap. But just a lot of fun, man. Aaron puts on a heck of a league over here, and it's a really good time.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, man, congratulations yet again. That was fun to watch, and man, go celebrate.
I'm going to, and thank you up in the booth as well, Eddie.
There's your winner, Garrett Kinder, with a great win, holding off that fantastic slider by Aaron. We'll get him up here and talk to him about that. But let's talk to our second place finisher, Charles Stevens Jr. Charles, is in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you, man.
Well, man, it seemed like you had a lot of speed all night, but you seemed to be back there in the you're in the jungle, just beating and banging off each other, trying to survive. Just guys throwing all kinds of sliders, Bristol bounces, banging off each other, and but man, able to hold on to it and keep all the fenders on and come home in second place. So congratulations, man. Talk about your race, man. What was it like out there, and how'd you get it done tonight?
Just keep track position and just try to stay up front. And all of Poman and Low Cash was running good up there between Kendo, Aaron, and Chris. But just a couple of people coming through that pitted that thought they was heroes. They were trying to make something of it at the end, basically using other trucks as another set of tires to make the corner. I guess made it a little crazy there at the end.
Well, you seem to be pretty fast. You had a lot of cautions. Weren't really able to get any green flag runs Do you think that helped you, or do you think you would have been a lot better had you gotten some more green flag runs to try to run down the leaders?
I think that definitely hurt me. I guess it was the luck of the draw. Every time a caution came out, um, for some reason I always got stuck on the bottom, and just the bottom was so tough on restarts here. Either spinning your tires on the bottom, or sliding up to the outside and having to get out of it. So I did lose. I think I restarted in third a couple of times and fell back to as low as fifth on restarts. Um, but then the last two cautions before the end there, I got stuck on the outside both times, and I think that's where I made up a couple of positions.
Well, congratulations, a second place finish. Very, very good finish for you, man. And I definitely applaud your driving ability. It seemed like you had some practice this week, and it's definitely paid off. Man, as always, who you got to thank? Any sponsors, shout outs?
Just my team over at Low Cash Motorsports, and our affiliated team with Po-Man and Aaron, just running this amazing league. I look forward to my Thursday nights. Um, and then you, Eddie, up in the booth with Rebels Racing Network. And then my family and friends and everyone that tunes in and watches me.
Well, there you have it. Charles Stevens Jr., second place finisher here tonight, Bristol Dirt. And we will jump into our third place finisher is Chris McLean. Chris, this is Eddie Booth. You got a copy?
I got you, buddy.
Man, up and down race for you. It was up front and then kind of got mired in the back half of the top 10. But there at the end, sort of had a resurgence. But, man, talk about your race. What was it like out there? It seemed like it was a lot better up front than it was back in the mess. But, man, able to survive and come home in third place. How'd you do it?
Yeah, man, we was just trying to put together a good race. I actually was there at that first little run we had, that first little green flag run. I was trying to run the middle and the bottom just to stay off that cushion as long as possible, but Aaron ended up catching me somewhere around lap 5 or 6. I don't know. Had to move to the top. And, um, the restarts here are so treacherous. I was trying to give them a little bit of a heads up. I wasn't really giving them much of an advantage, but just trying to help them out a little bit, and it ended up biting me. I just couldn't get the power down on the restarts. I don't know what the deal was. It was just I tried to take off easy, tried to take off fast, tried to take off medium. It just I don't know, just wasn't working for me on the restarts, and Aaron was able to get around me there on one of them, and I put the slide job on him and made it stick, and was generating a run on the exit, trying to stay even with him for the next corner, and the caution come out. And that's kind of where it went downhill from there. And of course, when you get back there, 5 or 6 deep, they just banging and beating all over each other. So, I just ended up getting back to third. Was lucky there. Couple of them cautions didn't get caught up in the mess, but all in all, it was a pretty good night. Wish we'd had a lot more green flag laps. I think it would have been a lot more fun. We just got up there and turned some laps and battled it out, but sometimes it is what it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be able to recover, come home with a third place finish is not a bad showing. And able to come, be able to kind of come back from losing a few spots on those restarts. Talk about what is it so difficult about restarting on dirt? A lot of times on asphalt we take for granted being able to just stomp the throttle, but here in dirt it requires a good amount of working the throttle to try to keep the power down and actually get some forward bite. What do you think if you could go back, maybe do different to try to get those restarts, a little bit better?
Yeah, man, I don't know. It stunts me because I'm pretty good at managing the throttle, in the corners and getting the power down. That's kind of where I strive at these dirt races. But something about I don't know if it was the way the truck was set up coming off the corner or what it was, being right there in that second, third place, first place. I know the one bad restart I had, I spun pretty good and got into the wall. That was when Aaron got by me. But even after that, I just could not get the power down on the restart. So I tried to move down the lane and get out of that slick, and it just wasn't working for me. I don't know. I was even under caution, simulating restarts, trying to figure out what to do, and I never could manage to get it mastered. I kept falling on the restarts. It'd get 2 or 3 green flag laps, I'd pick up a few spots, but can't win a race that way.
Yeah, well, third place, not a bad result at all. So congratulations, always, Chris, man. Who you got to thank?
Yeah, I'm gonna give a big shout out to my teammates over at Po-Man. Aaron had a good race tonight. I hate his race turned out the way it did. He had a strong run all night there till the end. But big shout out to those guys. Put in a lot of effort. Aaron's runs a great league. It's fun running with these guys every week. Big shout out to you up in the booth. I always enjoy going back and watching the race and seeing where I could have improved. And definitely gonna go back and watch this one and try to figure out what I was doing wrong on them restarts. But all in all, pretty good night. Got it on the podium. Big shout out to my wife and kids, man. They're the backbone of the whole deal.
Come on. All right. Chris McLean, your third place finisher here at Bristol Dirt tonight. Man, just a fun race as we look at Apex here. Definitely go check out, thanks to the Po-Man Motorsports post-race interviews, go check out Apex Sim Racing, the main sponsor for Apex East Series tonight. Go check them out, man. Get you a button box. Get you, like I said earlier, get your recliner with some switches on it. Put you a gear shifter on it. Something to you gotta trick out a lot of things. Your dinner table, the chair you sit when you eat dinner, man. Put something on there. Put a little switch on there. Maybe a mute button or two. Do something. But let's go ahead and talk about where everybody finishes and pull up the results. Of course, the top three. Chris Bedwell, who had a great finish, but man, just a wild race. It seemed like he was being very, very aggressive, and I think that's what you had to do to get it done. I don't know. I don't know exactly how much was intentional or just byproduct of trying to make something happen. But hey, fourth place, regardless, able to get it done. Joseph Mahar up front most of the night in the top five, able to come home in fifth. Willie Evernham in sixth. Dana Shepard in seventh. George Williams in eighth. Kip Easley in ninth. He was a few laps down there in the middle part of the race, and was able to come back, get a top 10. Anthony Anderson with a great top 10 as well. Josh Lurkovitz in 11th, James Kunkel in 12th, Steve Ayers Jr. in 13th, 14th, Daniel Holcroft, 15th, Aaron Adcock. Disappointing finish for somebody running up front, but hey, I would rather, if he was my driver and I knew he finished 15th trying to go for the win like he did, be nothing but pats on the back all around for the 17. So showed a lot of speed out there. Would love to see. I'm sure he'd love to have the finish to show for it, but still a great race by him. Chuck Feltz involved in some incidents. He was up in the top 10, but ended up in 16th. Alan Nash, who is up front in pretty much every asphalt race, involved in a few wrecks tonight, finishes in 17th. Alan Smith goes a few laps down early and not able to recover in the three machine. Matt Rogers comes home in 19th, and Lance Spomberg in his first race here in Apex comes home in 20th. Well, fantastic race all around. Gotta love some dirt racing. Even the guys in chat talking about how they love it. So it is always a big winner. Road courses and dirt racing on broadcast, man, they look great. They may not always be fun to drive in, but they look good on broadcast. So definitely enjoy that. We got some awards to give out a little bit. Hard Charger ends up being Dana Shepard, who comes home in 7th position. So congratulations on the Kyle Roberts Handmade Leather Hard Charger Award winner, Dana Shepard. James Kunkel there right behind him. Almost got it. Just come up a little bit short. So congratulations there. Well, man, that's it. That's all she wrote. We are done here at Bristol Dirt. Hate to see it go. Would love to see maybe 100 more laps, and I think I'd have been satisfied. But, man, just a fun showing all the way around. I want to thank everybody for watching, all the people in chat, and all the family members watching, coming cheering your driver. Definitely appreciate it for sure. I want to thank Aaron Adcock for putting this league on. All the sponsors, Apex, Kyle Roberts Handmade Leather, Kinder Farm and Ranch, Poleman Motorsports, Low Cash Motorsports, Chuck Pegleg with the Pole Award, and Trigger Time with the Jammed Up Award. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm Eddie Smith. We're going to be heading out of here, and we will see y'all next week.